Welcome back to the deep dive. So, we've got some interesting reading you sent over today.
Uh-huh.
It's a piece from Kenton Patterson's Future Tech Wise blog, and it's looking at the email landscape for 2025.
Right. Specifically, Hotmail, well, Outlook.com now versus Gmail, the big players.
Exactly. And the real question we want to tackle, sort of the mission for this deep dive, is helping figure out which one might be the best fit for your tech lifestyle next year.
Yeah, it's a good question because they've both been around for ages.
Seriously. Hotmail, what, 96? And Gmail came along in 2004.
That's some serious staying power in tech terms. They've definitely stood the test of time.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Yeah.
How do they actually feel to use? What about the user interface, the usability?
Well, the first thing you notice is they look pretty different. Gmail, Kenton points this out, it goes for that really clean, kind of minimal look,
Yeah, very simple.
which makes it super easy to pick up, right? Especially for new users. And those tabs, primary, promotions, social, they help sort things automatically. It's pretty intuitive.
It just sort of makes sense when you open it. But Outlook.com, that feels different, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It looks more professional, structured maybe. Kenton calls it a digital office feel.
A digital office, yeah, I can see that.
You get more customization options with the layout, the toolbar, the folder system is more prominent. It feels like it gives more control maybe for like power users.
Right, people juggling lots of things.
Yeah, or people who really like to organize everything just so.
So it kind of boils down to personal preference then. Simplicity versus having more tools right there on the screen.
Pretty much. What kind of digital workspace do you prefer? That's something to think about.
Okay, makes sense. Now, beyond just looking at email, why do they connect with everything else we do online? The whole ecosystem thing.
Yeah, that's huge. Integration is key. Gmail obviously is tied really tightly into Google Workspace.
Google Drive, Docs, Calendar, Meet, all that stuff.
Exactly. So if you're already living in that Google world, maybe for school or freelance work, or even some businesses, it's incredibly seamless. It all just works together.
That effortless connection is really appealing. And Outlook.com,
Well, that's plugged right into the Microsoft 365 ecosystem.
Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, Teams, the Office suite, basically.
Precisely. And Kenton highlights this makes a really strong choice for enterprise users, people in larger companies maybe.
So Kenton's take is pretty straightforward then.
Yeah, he puts it bluntly. If you live in Google's world, Gmail makes sense. But if your workflow revolves around Microsoft tools, Outlook.com is your go-to.
It's like choosing your digital neighborhood almost.
That's a good way to put it. Think about the tools you use most. That's probably your biggest clue right there.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears. Finding stuff. Search is critical in email, isn't it? How do they stack up there? And what about those smart features everyone talks about?
Well, given Google's background, it's probably no shock that Gmail really shines at search.
Yeah, you'd expect that.
You type a few words, and boom, it finds emails, attachments, even related calendar stuff. It's very powerful.
Like having Google search inside your email. And those smart features, Kenton called them futuristic.
He did. Things like Smart Compose, where it suggests how to finish your sentences, and Smart Reply, offering those quick response buttons. It feels quite AI-driven, almost like it knows what you're going to type next sometimes.
Creepy, but useful. What about Outlook? How's its search?
It's definitely improved a lot over the years. It's pretty good now. And it has its own smart filtering, the focused inbox.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Tries to separate important mail from the rest.
Right, and Kenton also mentions Outlook's sweep and rules features. He says they're invaluable for managing a high-volume inbox. So more about automation and organization.
Okay, so Gmail's edge might be in the AI-assisted writing and finding, while Outlook offers more powerful tools for, managing the flow and organizing.
This seems like a fair summary. Depends if you want help writing and searching or more control over sorting and filtering.
Gotcha. Okay, next big topic. Security and privacy. Always a concern. What does Kenton's piece say about how they handle that?
Outlook.com generally gets high marks for security. Robust stuff.
Like what?
End-to-end encryption options, good phishing detection, ransomware protection. Kenton suggests its enterprise-grade security makes it a solid choice for business.
Makes sense for handling sensitive company info, but Gmail's secure too, right? It's not like it's wide open.
Oh, absolutely not. Gmail has strong security too. Two-factor authentication, really advanced spam filters that learn, AI checking for threats. It's definitely secure.
I feel like there's often a but with Gmail privacy.
Well, the article does touch on those, ongoing questions about data mining, using email data potentially
Yes.
for ad targeting across Google services.
Right, the classic free service trade-off sometimes. Powerful tools, but maybe your data is part of the product.
Kenton kind of sums it up. If privacy and encryption are critical, Outlook might have the edge. But both platforms are serious about keeping your data safe.
So it's about your personal comfort level and priorities again. How much does that potential data use bother you versus the features you get?
Exactly. You have to weigh it up for yourself. Both are taking security very seriously, though.
Okay, something practical we all hit eventually. Storage space. How much room do we get for free?
This one's interesting. Both actually give you 15 gigabytes free to start.
Oh, okay. Same number, so what's the difference?
The difference is what that 15 GB covers. With Gmail, it's shared across Gmail, Google Drive, and Google Photos.
Ah, so if you use Drive and Photos a lot, your email space might shrink faster.
Potentially, yeah. Whereas with Outlook.com, that free 15 GB is just for your email. More storage comes via Microsoft 365 plans, which bundle in OneDrive space.
Got it. And both offer paid upgrades if you need more space, right?
Yep. Google One for the Google side and Microsoft 365 subscriptions for the Microsoft side. Plenty of options to buy more storage.
So it depends on how you manage files and if that shared pool on the Google side is a factor for you.
Pretty much. Something to consider based on your overall cloud storage use.
Right. Okay, last big comparison point. Using them on the go. Mobile apps. How do they compare?
The consensus, and Kenton agrees, is that both apps are really quite good. Smooth, user-friendly.
So no major disasters on mobile for either?
No, definitely not. Gmail's app is often called, sleek and fast.
Mm-hmm.
Very efficient for just dealing with email quickly.
Yeah, get in, get out.
And Outlook's app gets praise for integrating the calendar really well and having that focused inbox feature right there. Kenton says professionals appreciate that.
That makes sense. Less app switching if your calendar is right there.
Exactly. Kenton even says both apps are excellent, but Outlook gives me that all-in-one productivity feel on the go.
So again, it comes back to that ecosystem integration, even on mobile.
It really does seem to be a recurring theme, doesn't it?
Yeah. So think about where you check email most, desktop or phone, and how much you need those other tools integrated when you're mobile.
That's the key question for the mobile experience.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground. As we kind of wrap this up, what's the big takeaway? How does someone actually choose between Gmail and Outlook.com in 2025?
Well, it really circles back to what Kenton Patterson says at the end of his piece. In 2025, email isn't just about sending and receiving messages, it's about how well it fits into your digital life.
So there's no single best answer for everyone.
Absolutely not. It's totally dependent on your individual needs, your workflow, how you use technology day to day.
Okay, so let's recap the main points maybe. If someone values, say, simplicity, tight Google integration, and those clever AI features.
Then Gmail is probably looking like a really strong contender for them.
But if their priority is more towards professional tools, stronger encryption maybe, and that deep link with Microsoft Office.
Then Outlook.com is likely the more compelling choice. It fits better in that Microsoft-centric world.
Right. So maybe here's a final thought to leave people with. Email is so fundamental, isn't it? It's woven into everything we do online. So how might your choice of platform, Gmail or Outlook, actually shape things beyond just sending messages? Like your productivity habits, how you think about privacy, your whole digital experience over time.
That's a really interesting angle. It's not just a tool. It's part of your digital environment.
Exactly. So maybe take a moment to think. Which ecosystem, which set of features really aligns with where you are headed digitally beyond just the basics of email? Something to mull over.